I am the sole resident and owner of Kavik River Camp. In order to run a business, I have to cater to the people in the season that they're roaming around. I need to make enough revenue to support the camp.
In Alaska, survival isn't a guarantee, it's something you earn every single day. For more than a decade, we watched the cast of National Geographic's Life Below Zero live on the absolute edge of existence, pushing the limits of what it means to be isolated, cold, and truly human. They let us into their homes and onto their hunting grounds, sharing a life most of us can barely imagine. But when your life is that close to danger, the line between living and dying is razor thin. Now, in 2025, with the show having ended its incredible run, the silence from the Arctic has been filled with rumors and questions. Whispers of death have spread through forums and social media, creating a cloud of uncertainty around the people we grew to admire. The line between rumor and reality has never been colder. Who is still out there, living the life they've always known? Who have we tragically lost? And what really happened when the cameras were turned off for good? Today, we're cutting through all that noise. We're going to investigate the fake stories that have caused fans so much worry, and then, we'll turn to the heartbreaking truth. We will honor the real, tragic stories of two beloved stars from the Life Below Zero family we have actually lost, revealing the true price of a life lived on the edge. In the age of the internet, a rumor can travel faster than a dog sled on ice, and the cast of Life Below Zero has certainly had to deal with their share of fake stories. Because their lifestyle is so dangerous, you can understand why fans get worried. But let's get this out of the way right now. As of July 2025, no main cast members from the original Life Below Zero series have died. The core people who made the show what it was are alive, tough as ever, and still living out the spirit of the Alaskan wilderness. Let's shut down the rumors, one by one. It feels like no cast member has been the target of more death hoaxes than the Queen of Kavik, Sue Aikens. Fake articles and clickbait videos have claimed she passed away time and time again, with some reports as recent as March 2023. These hoaxes probably catch on because Sue's life is proof that she can cheat death. She famously survived a horrific bear attack that left her badly injured, forcing her to stitch her own wounds and wait 10 agonizing days for a rescue. That incredible story is part of her legend, but it also makes her an easy target for fake news. The truth? Sue Aikens is as tough as she's ever been. Now in her early 60s, she's still a force of nature. After Life Below Zero wrapped its 23rd and final season, Sue didn't slow down. She still runs the Kavik River Camp, her famous home 197 miles north of the Arctic Circle, but she's also looking to the future. She's been open about the toll that decades in the Arctic have taken on her body and is planning her next chapter, which includes a new property for a life that's just as wild, but maybe a little less punishing. She's active on social media, keeps her fans updated, and is still happy with her partner, Michael Heinrich. The rumors of her death aren't just false, they're an insult to a woman who has spent a lifetime proving she is, above all, a survivor. Andy Bassick, the resourceful homesteader on the Yukon River, has also been a topic of worried chatter online. Concern for him shot up after he suffered a life-threatening hip injury while trying to get a snow machine unstuck. The injury needed emergency surgery and a long, painful recovery, and we saw a lot of it on the show. That real-life medical crisis, along with the departure of his ex-wife, Kate, and the arrival of his new partner, Denise Becker, got people talking. More recently, in early 2024, rumors started spreading about Denise, with people claiming she had passed away or left Andy because she wasn't on screen as much in the later seasons. None of it is true. Andy is alive and well, and his relationship with Denise, a former trauma nurse who was a huge help during his recovery, is still going strong. The couple is still living on the Yukon, running their sled dog team and facing down the wilderness together, just as we saw in the final episodes in late 2024 and early 2025. Denise's reduced camera time was simply her personal choice, not a sign of tragedy. Andy Bassick, a man who has rebuilt his life more than once, is still thriving. The Hailstone family, with their deep Inupiaq roots, have always been the cultural heart of the show. Chip and Agnes Hailstone, and their kids, represent a line of survival that goes back generations. But their life hasn't been without real struggles that fueled rumors. Chip's biggest absence from the show happened when he was sentenced to 15 months in prison for perjury and making false statements. His time away led to a lot of speculation and bad information about his and his family's future on the show. Today, the Hailstone family is together and continuing their subsistence lifestyle in Nurvik. Chip served his time and returned to his family and the show. Agnes, a true daughter of the Arctic, held down the fort while he was gone, providing for her family and showing off her incredible strength and skill. As of 2025, Chip and Agnes are now grandparents to 29 grandchildren, their legacy firmly planted in the next generation. After the show ended, which Chip acknowledged online, the family has stepped back into their private lives, away from the cameras but still connected to the traditions that have always kept them strong. Jesse Holmes, the quiet, focused dog musher from Brushkina, is another key cast member who is very much alive and hitting amazing new milestones. Jesse has faced his own brutal challenges, from near starvation to the physical toll of long-distance racing, but the talk about him has been more about what he's up to now that the show is over. The answer is pretty incredible. Jesse Holmes isn't just surviving, he's a champion. In March of 2025, Jesse accomplished a lifelong dream by winning the 53rd Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race. It was the longest race in the event's history, a brutal 1,128-mile journey that took him 10 days, 14 hours, and 55 minutes. His victory was the culmination of years of hard work, the deep bond he has with his dogs, and the same resilience that made him a fan favorite. His emotional finish in Nome was cheered by fans all over the world, a perfect real-world ending to his story on the show. He continues to live his life as a full-time musher, carpenter, and hunter, a man who truly embodies the Alaskan spirit. It's a huge relief to confirm that these pillars of the life below zero community are okay. Their stories are about survival, not tragedy. But that only makes the real losses from the show's extended family feel even more painful. While the main cast is still with us, the universe of life below zero is smaller today. We have to now turn our attention to a different series, a different community, and the stories of two people whose time below zero has tragically ended. The rumors about the main cast may be fake, but the heartbreak is very real. The sad truth is found in the Life Below Zero spin-off, Port Protection. This series, focused on a tight-knit community of about 100 people on Prince of Wales Island, is its own little world. There, survival is a group effort, and when you lose someone, everyone feels it. In 2021, this small, tough community, and viewers around the world, suffered two devastating losses, one right after the other. For anyone who watched Port Protection, Gary Muehlberger wasn't just a cast member, he was the soul of the community. He had lived in the Alaskan wilderness for over 39 years and was a master of living off the land, a respected trapper, and a keeper of old-world skills. Viewers loved watching him, whether he was navigating the waters in his 100-year-old fishing boat or setting a trap line with his loyal dog, Trapper. He had a quiet confidence that came from decades of experience, and his willingness to share what he knew made him a cornerstone of Port Protection. He was, as National Geographic later put it, a legend. His whole philosophy was about respecting the land and being fiercely independent. He lived a life that was physically exhausting but also deeply fulfilling. His presence on the show was a calming one, a reminder that real experts are often quiet and humble. He didn't just teach us how to survive, but how to live in balance with a world that could be both brutal and beautiful. The way his story ended is a sudden, cruel twist. After a lifetime of mastering the dangers of the wild, the real threat came from inside his own home. On March 17, 2021, a fire started and engulfed Gary's house. Alaska State Troopers got a report that the house was on fire and that Gary was missing. The remote location and bad weather made it hard to investigate at first, but the community feared the worst. Those fears came true when human remains were found in the ashes. The state medical examiner later confirmed they belonged to 75-year-old Gary Muehlberger. The fire was ruled an accident, and some think he may have been working on a propane hot water tank when something went wrong. The news sent a wave of grief through the fanbase and, especially, through the small town that had just lost one of its elders. The official show pages posted a tribute, saying, "He was the heart and soul of port protection and a valuable member of our family. Gary was one of a kind and we will miss him dearly." In a heartbreaking follow-up, community members later shared that his beloved dog, Trapper, passed away a few months after Gary, having lost his best friend. The show later aired a tribute called Remembering Gary, where the rest of the community gathered to celebrate his life, showing just how big of a hole he left behind. Just 3 months after Port Protection lost Gary, the community was hit with another tragedy. On June 25, 2021, Litzy Botello, another beloved figure from the show, passed away at the age of 62. Unlike Gary's sudden death, Litzy's came after a quiet and brave battle with ovarian cancer. Her husband, John Bean, confirmed that she passed away peacefully at their home, surrounded by the views of port protection she loved. Litzy's story was one of incredible resilience. She had lived in port protection for decades and was a gifted artist, known for her unique polymer clay sculptures. Her spirit was defined by a strength that is almost hard to comprehend, because her own death came after she had already lost both of her sons, Johnny and Leland. To go through that kind of pain and still face the world with grace and creativity made her an inspiration. On the show, Litzy was often called the one-arm Mexican, a nickname she wore with pride, as she lived with only one arm but never let it stop her from living a demanding lifestyle. Her skill at filleting fish was legendary, and her friendship with Gary Muehlberger was one of the show's most heartwarming parts. They had been friends for almost 40 years. In a cruel twist of fate, her husband shared that Litzy went into surgery for her cancer on the exact day her best friend, Gary, died in the fire. Her death was another deep blow to the community and the fans who admired her fierce independence and warm heart. Her obituary remembered her for her love of beachcombing, listening to music, talking to strangers, and spreading love. Litzy Botello's legacy isn't just about surviving the elements, but about the survival of the human spirit. She faced the deepest personal grief and a terminal illness with a strength that left a permanent mark on everyone who saw her story, from the empty tundra of the Arctic Circle to the rainforests of Prince of Wales Island. The world of life below zero is one of stark contrasts, stunning beauty and harsh challenges, deep solitude and unbreakable community, amazing survival and heartbreaking loss. The rumors that follow the main cast show how much we care about those who live on the edge. And clearing up those hoaxes lets us appreciate the ongoing journeys of Sue, Andy, the Hailstones, and Jesse, celebrating their new chapters now that the cameras are gone. But the truth is that this life comes with a real and sometimes final cost. The losses of Gary Muehlberger and Litzy Botello from Port Protection are a heavy reminder of that. They weren't just characters on a show, they were deeply skilled, strong people who lived and died in the wild place they loved. Their stories, full of wisdom and resilience, represent the true legacy of the life below zero world. They are proof of the enduring human spirit, and they won't be forgotten. In the comments below, please share your favorite memory of Gary Muehlberger and Litzy Botello. Let's honor their legacies and keep the memories of these two Alaskan icons alive. And, if you appreciate content that separates fact from fiction and pays tribute to the stories that matter, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing for more.